Assalamu alaikum. And hello YouTubers. Pro 2 is here. In this video, I will share with you guys on how to rebuild a compressor. The model for this compressor is the Denso 10P15C. It might help others that are thinking of fixing their compressor. This compressor has a leakage problem. You may notice some oil on the compressor pulley in a line from left to right around the compressor. What you see here are some of the compressors that have a leakage problem with the lip seal and the O-ring. And this problem can be fixed. One indication of compressor shaft seal failure is the presence of oil on the clutch and a pattern of oil flung onto the underside of the car's hood. This is caused by refrigerant and oil leaking past the compressor shaft seal and reaching the pulley, which then flings it in an arc under the hood. You may notice some oil on the compressor mount or on the underside of the deck lid in a line from left to right above the compressor. If your compressor also has the same symptoms, the refrigerant has leaked out like this, there may be a chance that your compressor can be repaired. Let's rebuild it. This is how I done it. And it works for me very well. To rebuild this compressor, you need a lip seal Denso 10P15C. A shaft seal protector. This tool protects the seal from being cut or crack when installing the seal, which can cause leaks if it's crack. 1 Set O-Ring Compressor. ND8 Compressor Oil. 6mm Hex Socket. 10mm socket. Snap ring pliers. Lots of rags or paper towels. This project is about cleanliness. The compressor needs to be cleaned so crap doesn't fall inside once you have it apart. A torque wrench. Phillips Screwdriver. And a flat screwdriver. This is the schematic or exploded view of the compressor Denso 10P15C. We will change the lip seal, the 3 O-ring, and the last O-ring on the top of the compressor. Now we are ready for the rebuild. Begin by removing the clutch assembly from the compressor. Remove the 10mm nut that is exposed at the nose of the compressor. Pulls off the drive plate. Watch for the spacers between the drive plate and the pulley. Set them aside for reuse. The pulley is held in place with a circlip. Remove it by using a snap ring pliers and set it aside for reuse. Take off the pulley. Some of them maybe need a jaw puller to pull this off. Remove the ground wire for the clutch that are attached to the compressor. One more circlip that hold the magnetic coil. Remove the magnetic coil circlip and pull the coil off. Remove the 5 compressor head bolts using a 6mm hex socket. Each head bolts has a washer. Try not to lose them. You may need a screwdriver to pull the front section of the compressor. Gentle prying the front section of the compressor slowly. Pull it off. Looks like we found the problem here. The lip seal was damaged and caused the refrigerant leaks out. The left side is the new lip seal. We will replace it with a new one. A snap ring that hold the lip seal in place. Remove it by using a pliers. From the top of the compressor nose, push down the lip seal using a screwdriver. I'm not sure why this lip seal can be damaged and split in two pieces like this. Maybe wear and tear and also up to his age. Once the seal is out, clean the shaft housing so that we don't have bits of carbon in there. Take the 2-pin and separate the compressor sections one by one. Clean all the part off the compressor using a clean towel. Allow as much of the old refrigerant oil to drip out of the compressor. We will refill it with the new one. Arrange each component in order, one by one. When installing back the compressor, just reverse the step before. It's important to alert where each component goes, and where the component should be. Take a picture of each step will help you reassemble your compressor at the end of the process. Separate the middle sections of the compressor using a screwdriver. Test turning the compressor and make sure everything is smooth. Clean all the component and put back as before. Now we reseal the case with new O-ring. Coat the new O-ring with clean compressor oil and install its place. Put back the middle section of the compressor. Lubricate the compressor with some oil. Test turning the compressor and make sure everything is smooth and moving freely. Repeat the process for the front section O-ring. Position the 2 guide pin on the compressor. Install the front suction valve so that it matches the pins. Always use a new shaft seal when reassembling the compressor. Coat the new shaft seal and the front cylinder head with clean compressor oil. Lubricate the lip seal. Take a socket that fits best is just 22 or 21 millimeters. Very gently force it down straight. Install the shaft seal as far as possible into the front cylinder head. You may notice that the retaining clip has a flat surface on one side. Put the retainer in with this flat surface facing the carbon seal. Put back the retainer clip using a plier. Place the shaft seal protector over the shaft so you do not damage the new seal on the shaft key groove. The seal protector is a must when installing the housing seal assembly over the shaft. Without the protector, the shaft keyway would have certainly destroyed the sealing material. It will keep the seals in perfect condition when installing the carrier. This makes installing the carrier a breeze. Fit the guide onto the end of the drive shaft. Coat the new shaft seal and the front cylinder head with clean compressor oil. Absolute critical item to use a seal installer or protector. Oil up the shaft seal protector also. You will ruin the new lip seal without using this tools. Slip the seal onto the protector and push it down the shaft. Once down close to where it belongs, take the shaft protector off, install the compressor drive plate to turn the compressor upside down. Hold the top of the drive plate, as well as the bottom. We don't want the compressor shatter because the screw is not installed yet. And only then remove the rearmost case section to replace its O-ring. This will make sure that the pistons and wobble plate don't wander out of the compressor while you are working. They are quite hard to install back. Coat the new O-ring with clean compressor oil. And install it on its place. Position the two guide pin on the compressor. All of the components are constructed in such a way that proper reassembly is made obvious with pin locations in the compressor. Turn the compressor with the drive plate facing up. Clean every bolt and the shim. Insert the 5 through bolts from the front cylinder head side. The bolts should be tightened with a star pattern. Tighten them to the specified torque 21 Newton meters. Each bolt should be gradually tightened in 3 or more stages to ensure the specified torque. According to the user manual Denso compressor oil chart, compressor 10P of 15C uses ND8 oil. The quantity of oil in the compressor is 120 cubic centimeters. I am using a measuring cup to pour out 120 milliliter of oil and put it into the compressor. Add compressor oil and rotate the compressor. Where you add it doesn't matter, it just circulates throughout and is carried by the refrigerant around the system. The compressor achieves optimal durability and cooling performance when oil circulates through the system at a ratio of 3.3% to 8% oil to refrigerant. Excess oil can act as an insulator, limiting heat transfer in the evaporator and condenser, while too little oil can negatively affect durability. At this point, check the compressor is sealed correctly. Put your thumb over the suction port, and turn the shaft a couple times. If it creates a good suction and feels smooth, then the job done perfectly. Last O-ring to change on the top of the compressor. I plugged the charging and discharging holes so the compressor oil didn't spill out. Also prevent foreign objects or item from getting into the compressor. Reattach 4 screw bolts. Torque screw bolt 21 Newton meter. Align the dowel pin on the back of the clutch field coil with the hole in the compressor front cover. And position the clutch coil onto the compressor. You may notice that the snap ring has a flat surface on one side. Install the snap ring with the flat surface facing the magnetic coil. The bevel side of the snap ring must be facing outward. Using snap ring pliers, install the external snap ring that secures the clutch coil to the front cover of the compressor. Be sure and set that snap ring in so that it's all the way in the groove. The cause was an unsecured snap ring that allowed the coil to slide out and it melted due to friction after coming into contact with the spinning clutch pulley. Install and tighten the screw that secures the clutch coil wire harness connector bracket and ground clip to the top of the compressor housing. Install the pulley onto the front of the compressor. Reinstall the snap ring. Be certain that the snap ring is fully and properly seated in the groove. Reinstall the original shims on the compressor shaft. Install the clutch plate onto the compressor shaft. Install and tighten the compressor shaft bolt. Torque the compressor shaft bolt to 17.5 Newton meters. Congratulations, you have just rebuilt your compressor. Next step, you need to install your compressor. Pull the vacuum to your system. And lastly, charge your AC system with the right amount. And you're done. In case you're interested to know how to charge an AC system, I will leave a link for you to survey. See you again next time. Pro2DIY. Use this information at your own risk. Any injury, damage, or loss that may result from improper use of any tools and equipment, or from the information contained in this video, the user must take responsibility. If you think this video helpful for you, remember to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Enjoy cautiously and good luck. Pro2DIY.